others. In this video, I will go over all the logistics around server jumping and what you need to do in order to utilize the Novice Space Portal in Infinity Kingdom. This guide will go in depth about the logistics of a jumper account. Some of the things in this video will not be strictly applicable if you wish to join along on the jumper project. To get a proper understanding of a jumper, we need to take a look at the requirement for the Novice Space Portal, Castle Level 8. This one is pretty self-explanatory, and is similar to the requirement in most Kingdom Builder games. You will be sitting at this relatively low castle level and limited to grind low-level resources. The server status, however, is going to determine when you can, when you should, and where you should jump. We can only move to servers in the state of under construction. So, if we go and have a look at current server available to jump to, you will see that currently one is actually available. Have in mind that this state is what we call our jump window, and it can be very short, maybe even 1 or 2 days only. So, it is likely that when you have a look when watching this video, that all servers are either unavailable or in scramble. That means they either are still missing to defeat the Chronicle, Gnome Nemesis, or have gone further and completed Supreme Alliance or Kingdom's Glory. When taking a closer look at these 2 Chronicle quests from a previous server, there is a very short window in which we can jump to a server. More importantly, the opening of this window, when a server completes Gnome Nemesis, is a very important indicator as to where you should jump. Your jumper account should not be planned towards a specific server ahead of time. You might have this plan for your jumper, that you will jump after 2 months or 3 months, meaning you will jump whenever, say, this server here becomes available by changing to under construction. As the requirement for completing this quest is a direct result of server activity, you want to make sure it completes this no more than after 25 days of server birth. If it does, you are jumping into a server that is much likely to die out eventually, and you will have to jump again in not too long, to maintain the fun of the game. Set yourself a minimum goal, like 3 months, and be ready to extend up to 4 to 5 months even. Remember, you are doing this to set yourself up for the remainder of your game. So, planning an account for 2 or 3 months, you might as well do it right. For server 236, would or instance not have jumped to this server, as it took it 28 days to complete Gnome Nemesis. I would instead wait for 237, and see if it completes it faster. Also, merely looking at the power distributed across the kingdom, I would be more confident in this server. In case you are jumping with the jumper project, this will be closely monitored, and you won't have to deal with it. All I can say is start as soon as you see this video, as we will already be planning about 4 months ahead, with server 241 being the recommended server to start on. An example of a jumper account going back in time would be that you had created an account in server 217. Season 1 is coming to an end and you really have to jump now. Probably you would have considered server 233, 234 or 235 already and jumped there. This gives you about 16 to 18 weeks of development on your jumper account. Say these were low activity server and you decide to jump later, 236 might be your last call, before the window closes and you progress into Season 2. What you could do is to just use a regular space portal and move to server 225, which is in the preparation of Frostborn, giving you another month of planning. So you have tons of opportunities, as long as you understand these logistics. A little pro tip if you are intending to ride solo in this game and want to make sure you continuously positioning yourself in a competitive position. Pay close attention to the grouping of servers. In this case, where server 233 to 240 will be grouped in Season 1, start your jumper in server 241. This way you know that you will have about 4 months before your group will be moving into Season 2. Next, jump into the server that will be the oldest in your division. There is an element of development advantage when it comes to Legion of Frostborn, which is the server versus server contest. Jumping into one of the oldest servers in your group will give you advantage, as well as, should you want to move server, you have the same opportunities as any server 7 weeks newer. This might seem a bit confusing, but say a whale ruins the gameplay on your server and you want to jump to a different one, you could be in a situation where you need to jump forward to find a server with a nice level of activity. This would decrease some of the competitive advantage you started your jumper on the basis of, and remove the point of starting one in the first place. So ultimately, pick among the newest servers, so you can make another jump backwards in time and improve your competitive position once more. For example, if you picked server 216, which you see here, you would find yourself in Season 2 unable to move back Season 1 servers. But had you instead waited a week longer, and picked server 217, you would still be in Season 1. What you could do here is to jump all the way back to server 227, which just became available the other day. This would put you 10 weeks of development ahead of the other guys on the server. and ready to be a top competitor in Frostborn Season 1. A little comment on jumping backwards in Season 1 might be that you halt your development by maxing out at Castle 40. Then, you once again are actually decreasing your overall development in the game by jumping backwards. It would instead be wiser to skip repeating the Frostborn Season 1, and instead stay put and wait to jump backwards in Season 2 instead. I am aware that this was a little technical. But to summarize, figure out the grouping of the new servers you are considering before starting. If you aren't in a rush getting started, consider waiting with creating your jumper account until first server in a new group starts. This is why by the time I am uploading this video, we are preparing to start jumper accounts on server 241. Then, once you want to jump, which should be at least 2 months ahead, consider the oldest server in the next group. Finally, don't pick a server based on impatience or planning. You need to be able to push your jump a week or more, dependent on the activity of the servers in the under construction state. I recommend creating accounts in several servers that you plan to jump within. These will serve as your farm accounts as well as allowing you to get insights into the server prospects. If the prospect servers are bad, I recommend perhaps even jump an additional time before using your Novice space portal. That was all for this video. I hope it gave some clarity as to how we achieve our full potential of a jumper account, and how we in the Jumper project intend to maximize this opportunity to its fullest. Subscribe for more videos of the Jumper project and join the Discord if you want to take part and create a jumper yourself.